Over the past few days and even weeks, I've been reporting on Blackburn Rovers' potential transfer incomings. Well, today, I'm sorry to tell you, this one's about a possible outgoing, and it's not one I really want to talk about. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're talking about transfer rumours, but this time players that could be on the way out. That's right, and this one's a bitter pill, and I don't really want to be talking about. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, world football, transfer rumours, all that kind of stuff right here under one roof. And today we're talking about El Capitano. That's right, Luis Travis has been under the spot, or is under the spotlight, under Deadpool FC. They want him to spice up their midfield. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are. But what we're talking about is, of course, this. This is the Wrexham Insider, but the link is all over the shop. And, of course, it is Wrexham, promoted, of course, to the Championship now, looking to bring in Rovers captain Luis Travis, who is a shithouse merchant. Of course, they are linked with a few names across the board, Lewis O'Brien, Tom Kearney as well. And this one is also, I also want to highlight that they're not the only ones. They are not the only. I think Wrexham are, one of the leading names, but we're talking Sheffield United, we're talking Ipswich, we're talking a few others as well. So he's not without admirers. Can we keep a hold of him? And what would Wrexham and or Sheffield United get if they were to pursue him? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. What I want to tell you now is I can hand you over to Eddie to talk about a new service that we're hoping to implement in the new season for Blackburn Rovers away days.
Ewan Eddie here with some news on our brand new scheme we're looking to implement in the 2025-2026 campaign. What is it? Well, it's affordable away day travel. That's right, us at Blackburn Rovers Seas hope to implement this brand new scheme for each and every one of the away days taking place in the upcoming campaign. Right now, we're just in the planning stages and we want to know if you are interested in away day travel for the upcoming season. Now, what I need you to do now is, of course, go to this link on the screen right about now. It's a QR code, or maybe drop down in the old description to follow the URL and fill out your name and, of course, maybe some contact information that we can reach out to you when we are 100% committed. Just a reminder that this is just the planning stage of this service. Nothing is 100% as of yet. But the more numbers and the names that we get down in the next few weeks, then, of course, then we'll have the ability to make this happen for you guys. Again, looking at what's available at the moment, this does look like an affordable option if we can get the support from you guys. And again, it's just a fantastic way for you to support the channel in another way. Back to you, Dirk, in the studio.
Thank you very much there, Eddie, to talk about our a new service that we're going to provide here. But let's talk about El Capitano, Luis Travis, and what he means to Blackburn Rovers. Of course, he is not just a player. He's not just another name on the team sheet. This guy's coming through the academy. He's been with us from the get-go. Of course, he had a little bit of a spell, a successful spell, you would imagine, with Ipswich Town, when we talk about those numbers in a minute. He might not have been first name on the team sheet there, but he had minutes. And, of course, that team went on to get promoted to the Premier League. But he came back under a new manager, John Eustace. He saw in him what was missing in that midfield. Of course, the big fallout was JDT. Has he fallen out with Big Val? I don't know. But it's not the news I wanted to hear. But anyway, let's take a look at him. He is 27 years of age. He will be 28 come October. He has been the heartbeat of our midfield for a long, long time. Played 38 times this season, chipping in with a couple of goals. Just one assist. No red cards, believe it or not, but 11 yellow cards. Can play at right back and right midfield as well, but definitely defensive midfield is his bread and butter. His stats, though, aren't the greatest. He's a couple of 50s there in defending and tackling. There should be one called Shithouse, and that would be like 80 to 90. His attacking numbers, we still see a little bit towards the back end of the season where he would progress a little bit further, maybe trying to adapt to Big Vast style of play. But no. Also, major factor here is the contract expiry. He's got 1 year left as of right now. Now, what we need to see is this is the scenario straight off the bat here before we take another closer look at some of the numbers and stuff. If he signs a new deal, he's staying. He's going to be staying. If he ain't going to sign, or if there's no intention for signing, then perhaps we have to sell. Again, the geographic location of this potential move of Wrexham is not that far. You could probably do a number there and keep things the status quo there. With housing and whatnot, and without too much disruption, if he wants to do that. So, the signs are there that this could be something to happen. Now, again, I don't really want this to happen, but money has its price. Everyone has its price. And I'll talk about my price in a second. So let's take a look at him. His numbers, 38 times he played, 2 goals he scored. Both of the goals were right-footed, and both of them were outside the box. Some long-range bad boys. Look at the touch map here. Absolutely credible stuff. And again, he does provide an extra factor, which should be shithouseness. And he is, of course, lovely. He loves winding up the pedals. And he is Rovers captain. Now, if he was to depart, that's another question. Who will take over the armband? Dom Hyam could be the man. Danny Bart would have been a great example, but who knows where he's going to play his football over the next 12 months. So lots of question marks and just a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of discontent and bad feeling I got at the moment with Rovers, because I just need some encouraging moves. With the likes of Dolan leaving, and of course Wyman, Danny Bart, now Travis, possibly Callum Britton. Give me something to get my teeth around to. Anyway, his pass success rate is 85% within his, across the board. There, 90% within his own half, of course, and tackles are pretty savvy when you look at those numbers. But let's take a look at his record over the course of time. Now, he's played over 250 games for Rovers senior teams, chipping in with a late 8 goals and 12 assists. Yet to play in the Premier League, but he has played across the board. Look at that. Look at all this variety here. But it is defensive midfield where he is more comfortable at playing over 200 games there, chipping in with 8 goals and 10 assists. But he can play right back, left back, and even at centre back. He's been called upon many, many times for Rovers. And hopefully we can call upon him more times. Just the 9 times played with Ipswich, just the 1 assist for him there as well. And this is the competition that he's played throughout his career. So that's a little bit about Lewis Travis, but ultimately he's a captain, club captain, and this would be a massive morale killer. Now, when we think about it, we're losing Tyree Stone, and that's already a bitter pill. But I think one that we've already kind of come to understand that was going to go on. Same can be said for Wyman and Bart, of course, contractless. They're just going to go with the best bet here, and of course they've got familiarity with that of John Eustace. This one though, Lewis Travis is from the academy. The understanding is that he is Rovers through and through, and the only reason he left us on that loan was a major fallout with John Dahl Thomason. John Dahl Thomason's gone. Eustace came in, he put him back into the team there, back on the captain's armband, and he had a great season last season. And I realistically don't want to make that the end. Imagine that. Imagine we said goodbye to Tyree Stone, and yes, we possibly said goodbye to those guys. Imagine we've already seen Lewis Travis play his last game for Rovers. That would be a massive kick in the teeth. So for me, Wrexham, yes, they are on a good bit of momentum, and it could be a chance for them, or at least Travis, to get Premier League football in his career. Now, of course, we've seen players that play for Blackburn Rovers that looked like they were going to play for the Premier League, and Bradley Dack being the main one, but he never got there due to injuries. And I would never, and again, Smonich was the case, same case. I didn't think he pursued a move. He even signed a new deal to kind of get the better valuation for us, which I loved that. I absolutely loved that. We got the better bang for our buck. And again, maybe a similar age to that of Travis right here, right now. I think the graphic says around about 4 million is his current valuation. I don't even know if it was on that graphic. So honestly, everyone has his price. And I mean everybody. Yuki has his price. Sondre has his price. Dom Hyam has his price. They all have their price. My price for Travis would be a 4 million. Anything below that, I wouldn't even be, sniffing at it, because he is a unique player. Again, and I know we have to think about the grand scheme of things. Keeping the same players from last year and not really adding much quality is going to get, I wouldn't say similar results, but probably worse results. I think we have to be a little bit risky, have to be a little bit of a gamble. And of course, players such as Callum Britton, Lewis Travis, Dom Hyam, who else? Harry Pickering, all the ones that you would be thinking regular guys here, they are more than likely going to get some funds from. And those funds hopefully can be used to make, frugal signings, whether it's more than likely going to be Europe or abroad. The English market is bloated, it's overpriced, you would only pick up the occasional gem or the occasional bargain at the continental market. The Yuki moves. Who else did we bring abroad? We've had some better success rates, I think, with picking up some gems from abroad, and hopefully Cargbo again. I think he's a good example of being frugal and shrewd in there. So generating the funds from a Travis, not that I don't want to, but realistically, if we're going to go somewhere, we have to generate some sort of money. You could also call it asset stripping as well. But, I think Yuki's valuation definitely improved upon last season. If we were to sell him, we were looking at 3 or 4 million already as well. And I think a good full season for him could also see him propel towards a 10 million in about a season or two's time. So Travis could be the name that we use to generate 4 million, and then that money hopefully could get put towards 2 or 3 players from the European market. Again, not that I want to do that, but that's just something that could be seen to go on. Again, we just don't know. Again, the first 2 or 3 signings that come in, maybe a bit of contract news, will show which way we are going with under Big Val, who, again, completely different style of play than what we had at the end of the season. Where I'm expecting high tempo, aggressive football compared to, sitting on the fence kind of stuff towards the end of the season. Anyway, that's just my take. Back to Eddie, though, to talk about 150 Blackburn Rovers memories, a social media campaign that we're working on right here, right now, and I need your help. But Eddie will tell you more about it.
Hey, with Eddie back once again, but this time I don't want your money. No, I want your name, your voice, your Rovers memories. That's right. We started a social media project over on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, showcasing 150 Blackburn Rovers memories. I've asked fans from around the globe to drop their Rovers memories, but of course I need more of them. That's right. 150 is a big number, and we need some more, and that's where you come in. That's right. Whether it's the best player, best goal, best shirt, best moment in regards to Blackburn Rovers, I want to hear about it. So if you want to do that, again, follow that link. There is also one down in the description, and drop it in there. Of course, that memory will be featured over on Twitter on a day of its own, and then of course together in a master video when we drop it on November the 5th to celebrate Blackburn Rovers 150th anniversary. So please do me a favour and drop your Rovers memory. But anyway, once again, back to Dirk to wrap up the show.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Appreciate that. And of course, if you are interested, there's a link down below as well in the description. And also, please get cracking on those. I need those. I've only got a few lined up. So any that you can chuck in will be absolutely graciously appreciated. Until then, though, subscribe, smash a like. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about Lewis Travis potentially departing for Deadpool FC. But until then, I'll see you soon when we return. But until then, we are done.